find for last year's $5 Goodwill Challenge Fall Edition was a rolling pin that cost me $1.99 at Savers. It was a ceramic rolling pin and it had a recipe for a pumpkin pie on it. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I just knew that I definitely wanted it. I wasn't even sure whether or not it was just a display piece or it was an actual rolling pin that you could use. If it was, I definitely wasn't going to use it because it had some cracking in it. It was all intact, but that cracking kind of scared me. So I knew it was going to be a display piece, but I really liked it and I just knew I wanted it, so I brought it home. Once I got it home, I kind of brainstormed and tried to figure out what I was going to do with it, and I wasn't coming up with any ideas. But then shortly after that, I went to the Target dollar spot and I found this pie plate for $5, and I knew that I definitely wanted to display the rolling pin with that pie plate somewhere in my kitchen. Even though this is definitely a usable pie plate, I knew at least for the Goodwill Challenge I wanted to display it, and then eventually I could use it as my normal pie. So naturally, myself, and the feedback that I got back from the $5 Goodwill Challenge was to test out that pumpkin pie recipe on that plate. I really never got around to it, but since Thanksgiving is right around the corner, I definitely wanted to accomplish that this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and test out this pumpkin pie on that plate and see how I like it, and see if it's going to be added to my dessert list this year for Thanksgiving. So I have the oven preheating to 350, and it's calling for 2 cups of solid pack pumpkin pie puree. So it's saying to dump that into the bowl, and I'm using the 1 pie pumpkin. A half a cup of white sugar, 2 large eggs, a cup of evaporated milk, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And then it says a pinch of salt. Now it's saying to mix it well and then dump it into the pie plate. And I got pumpkin on myself. That's lovely. The recipe does call for a 9-inch deep dish shell, but I'm just using a Pillsbury pie crust. So the pie is in the oven. It's going to bake for 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it cool completely, and we're gonna go give it a try. It's your pretty basic pumpkin pie recipe, but most of the time those are the best ones. So here it is, straight out of the oven. It looks good, and we're just going to let it sit here, cool off, do its thing. So it is much later. The pie has completely cooled off, and now it's the fun part, the taste test. That's good. That is really good. If you're looking for It's just a classic piece of pumpkin pie. This is definitely it. If you want to see where this all started from, I will link that $5 Goodwill Challenge video at the end screen. Bye!